Greetings, my name is Alexey, and in this series of videos, Hades Star Guide Basics, I'm gonna guide you through all the basic concepts. These series are going to be aimed at the beginners at the game, and the aim of this guide is to explain how the mechanics of the game work and to make you basically be more efficient and get more out of the game, progress faster and make less mistakes. In this first video we're going to talk about ships, so let's get to it. The game has three kinds of ships. They have distinct roles. These are transport ships, miner ships and battleships. And they have a mostly accurate description here, except the battleship. The battleship says it can be equipped with additional weapon modules, but it's actually a lie. You can never get more than one weapon module on the battleship. You can only get more support modules on the battleship, but not weapon modules. Anyways, the ships are all the same, so when you build a ship it will be exactly the same ship as all the other ships of the kind. So all the transports are the same, all the miners, all the battleships are the same. The way you make different ships is by putting different kinds of modules on these ships. So this is where you can build your own ship, customize it to the point where the ships of the same like battleship design will have completely different combat roles, for example. The ships have different roles in different environments. I'm going to go through that now. So in the yellow stars, your transports are delivering shipments around your planets and also moving artifacts from your storage planet to your research station. And for the purpose of the yellow star, you want your transport to be fully utilized. For example, if I have a static transport with 2 slots, I can just pick two shipments, move them to this planet, then pick 2 shipments, move them back, then pick 2 shipments, move them to this planet, and that's efficient. But if I have 12 slot transport like this, if I do the same, I would waste so much hydrogen, because it costs you more hydrogen to move a more developed, like higher tech level ship, because every module takes hydrogen if it's a passive module, and the ship design itself, like it spends more hydrogen to move when it's upgraded, as you can see here. That means I can no longer like move the cargo like this to here to here. I would waste so much more hydrogen and I would be very inefficient. So you want to utilize your cargo space in the yellow star properly. So if you have a high capacity transport, you need to move your cargo more intelligently so that you do not waste this cargo capacity. And miners in your yellow star just mine asteroids and give you hydrogen. So the miners have like several sectors they mine before they stop doing it. So this miner will mine 4 sectors, this one, 3 others, and then it will stop mining. I have to log in back to the game and tell him to mine again. And this miner is like on its final sector. After it mines out this asteroid, it will give up and await further orders. So I will send it here so it resets. Now it will have to mine 4 sectors again. So after it mines this, it will mine this, and so on. So miners mine hydrogen, and battleships, they clear out newly scouted sectors. So when you reveal a sector, pay the price, wait for 2 days, then there will be enemies inside the newly scouted sector, and you send battleship in to kill the enemies there, so the sector is free to be used for your economy purposes. So that's it for the yellow star. Next is the red star, and in the red stars your transports are used to retrieve artifacts from the planets back to your warp portal so that you can research or salvage those artifacts. So in the red stars, your concern is that your transport has the correct amount of slots to be the most efficient it can be. For example, my transports are 12 slotted, and the artifacts I'm going to retrieve are 8 slotted. So my transports are not optimal for this kind of red star. That happened because on the previous red star level I had 6 slot artifacts, and so 12 slots was a good idea because I could carry 2 artifacts at once. But now I've progressed to the next red star level and I haven't yet progressed to the next cargo level, and so for now I'm not as efficient as I could be. So if I would have 16 slots or 8 slots, I would just go here, pick up 1 or 2 artifacts and go back. But since I have 12 slots, I have to pick up a 4-slot artifact on this planet and an 8-slot on this planet, so I have 12 slots total, so I bring back a full load and don't waste hydrogen as much. Your miners will mine hydrogen as they do in a yellow star, but the objective is different. In the red star, the objective is to get as much hydrogen out of one red star match before the timer runs out. So you want to be using modules which speed up your mining, and you want to plan your mining so that you mine as many sectors as you can. Like, I'm gonna mine these sectors, this player is gonna mine out these sectors. Let me show you how it goes. This is how it's going to go. We're going to mine as many sectors as we can so that we bring home as much hydrogen as we can. And the battleships in the red star are used to kill enemies, of course, and the goal here is to be as fuel efficient as you can be. So for example, if you already can clear out the enemies with ease, you don't want to upgrade your battleship because you're only going to spend more fuel to get the same done. But if you would upgrade something and it would greatly improve your efficiency, then you do want to upgrade it. For example, this ship, it costs 30 to move, and this ship costs 37 to move. That's because this ship has a different kind of weapon, a dual laser. But this weapon is very good, very useful, so it's not a waste to put this weapon here. As you can see here, if I would only have a simple weapon, which fires at one enemy, the battery, and I would attack from the front, I would have to kill 2 of those ships before I can kill this 4th ship. And so during the time I'm killing those 2 ships, this ship will fire at my ships and it could probably kill one of the ships because it has a very good weapon. Like, it has level 6 weapon and I only have a level like 5 weapon at this point in the game. So I would have to move around and attack from the side. This would both take more hydrogen to move like this, and it would take more time to move like this. I would have to wait before all this movement is done, before I can send the transports in. But since I have a dual laser, I can just attack, and the dual laser will attack 2 targets at once, and so when one of the tank dies, I can already kill the DPS without waiting for the second tank to die. Also, it will keep increasing in damage output as long as there are 2 targets, so it's gonna get more and more powerful and the DPS will die very quickly, and so this upgrade helps me. Same thing, if I would be attacking this sector with my battleship, I would have to move in, get out, move in again, or I would have to use the stun, for example. But as I will show in a moment, another player which has better technology than me, he can just go in and just kill all the ships without moving anywhere, without maneuvers, without using modules, because he has a stronger battleship. And so that's the concept of battleships in red stars. You don't only want to win, you don't only want to like succeed in killing the enemy ships, you also want to do it as efficiently as you can. And so, as I will demonstrate right now, this player just goes in, and when he kills enemy ships, his ships heal from the enemy ships dying, and so his ships will go down in health, then go up in health again. Like, as you can see, they get healed again, and so they can just kill those ships without waiting, without switching, like, without a rotation, without moving away. So that's beneficial for him because he doesn't have to move, so he saves hydrogen, and he can kill enemies quickly, so he saves time. So that's it for the red star. And the white star, the PvP. In white stars, your transports have, your main goal is to retrieve relics. So the transports move, load relics, move them back to the jump gate, like in red stars. But also the transport in white star is often used as a support module provider. For example, most oftenly it's a time warp. Time warp module increases the rate at which the time passes around the ship. So everything inside this purple circle will cool down faster, fight faster, move faster. And for example, if we have this ship which needs to get to the enemy as fast as possible, it can bring a transport with it, with a time warp, and the transport will provide the benefits of the time warp to this ship without this ship having to install the time warp on the ship itself. So this is how the transport is also used in the White Star. Miners in the White Star, they mine hydrogen and deposit the hydrogen on the planets. So in the Red Star, the hydrogen will just be used to be taken back home, and the artifacts are already on the planets from the start of the mission. And when you take all the artifacts from the planet on the Red Star mission, that's basically it. There's no more artifacts. But in the Red Star, the artifacts, they're called relics here, they keep spawning, and you can spawn more by bringing hydrogen in. So here we have one relic. This transport will pick up a relic, so it's 0 relics. And now these miners bring more hydrogen. And now we have 2 relics here, 3 relics here, 4 relics here. So that's how you get more relics, by delivering hydrogen to the planets in the White Star missions. Also, the miners are slow, so they're not as useful as a transport in providing like the support module, but they are very useful at providing rocket support from the gate. Because the miner is the cheapest ship to jump in and out of the warp gate, you can jump the miner in, fire a rocket, jump out, wait 2 hours. During these 2 hours your rocket is cooled down and you can jump in and fire a rocket again. And so you can see any good White Star team will have this constant array of rockets coming from the gate all the time. That's a miner ship going in and firing a rocket and going out. And if we would wait for the rocket to cool down, as you can see, it would take us like 4 days and 4 hours to fire the next rocket. But if we jump out and jump back in 2 hours we can fire the next rocket already. So this is how the miners are used in the White Star. And the battleships in the White Star, they have many roles. So you have battleships which defend. These are battleships which have modules like barrier and EMP. You have battleships which can attack. These are battleships which have a very powerful weapon and which have modules which increase their speed, or a shield which makes them move faster. And you have battleships which are bad at combat, but which can destroy enemy squishy targets. These battleships use weapons like mass battery. It's a very weak weapon, as you can see, it's only 500 DPS, I mean damage per hour. While, for example, this ship will deal, let me show you, 2000 damage per hour. But this ship can only fire at one enemy, and this ship can fire at several enemies at once. So if this ship gets in range of the enemy's squishy targets, they die, usually. So that's how this ship is used. It's used to disrupt enemy economy, disrupt enemy support ships. And so you have different roles, and you want to build your ship to be good for a specific kind of role, so that you can combine your different kinds of ships in this team synergy, and you can succeed in winning the White Star match by bringing back the most relics. So in the White Star, it's where you theorycraft the most, where you figure out clever ways to combine modules for maximum efficiency, to have like certain cool combinations which outsmart your opponent. Okay, so that's it for the ships and their roles in different kinds of gameplay modes. So let's talk about how do you get more ships. You get more ships by upgrading your shipyard, and you get this fleet capacity up, and within this number you can get any number of ships of each kind, which all sum up to this 11. So you want to have no more than 3 miners. You want to have 3 battleships for your Red Stars and 1 for your White Star, and then the remaining ships are all transports. That's the usual way to play the game. If you are very serious about White Star and your team needs you to have different roles, you want to have 2 ships for the White Star, so that you can swap your roles without paying money to refit your battleship. You hardly ever need more than 3 mining ships, 3 is enough, and the more transports you have, the better. You upgrade your shipyard when you have the opportunity and you get more ships out of it. At first, I'd recommend you start with 2 transports, 2 battleships, 1 miner. Then I'd recommend you get a 3rd transport, and then it's all about, like, if you feel you're limited by hydrogen, get a 2nd miner. If you feel you're limited by transports, get a 4th transport, and then you get a 2nd miner anyways, and then gradually you go up from there. When you need to participate in White Star matches, you get a dedicated battleship for the White Stars, and so that's how your number of ships gradually goes up. As for the ship upgrades, you want to make sure you always get an increment of 4 on your cargo slots on your transports. That's because as your Red Star level increases, the artifacts take more and more space. So a level 2 artifact takes 2 slots, a level 3 and 4 takes 4 slots, then it's 6 for level 5 and 8 for level 6. And that means that, for example, it's no point to have 3 cargo slots or 5 cargo slots. It's going to be a waste of slots for the Red Star missions. So you don't want to have that uneven amount of slots. And for example, there's no point having 6 slots, because by the time you get to Red Star level 5, you will already be close to 12 slots, but you will spend a lot of time on Red Star level 4, and level 6 slots will be a waste there. You want to have 8 slots. So you want to make sure you upgrade both your cargo extension and your transport ship together so that you always get up 4 slots. For example, right now I don't upgrade this even though I can afford it. I'm waiting to get this 1 slot together with those 3 slots here, and that will progress me from 12 slots to 16 slots. If I would just upgrade this transport right now, I'd have a 13 slot transport, which is not very efficient, as you can obviously understand. For the miners, you want to upgrade them when you can, when you need, like if you can afford the next level miner, and if you think you are limited by the amount of hydrogen, like if you feel you can get way more from the Red Star than you're doing now, upgrade your miners. Otherwise, you're fine, don't do it. The battleships are the most important part. Don't upgrade your battleship until you need to. Like for example, your first battleship upgrade will allow you to place a support module on your battleship, but you don't need it yet. You can do just fine with the gun and the shield, and you can be very hydrogen efficient and do way more with your static battleship if you don't upgrade it to the 2nd level, because you don't need that module yet. Until you're at Red Star level 3, you don't want to have a level 2 battleship, because you can just do the mission with the static battleship as easily. But then, again, you can upgrade your battleship to level 2 to get a support module, but you don't want to upgrade your shields too far. So right now I could upgrade my shields twice, but that would increase my shield strength by a little amount, but my hydrogen use by a huge amount. Like I'll get 3 more hydrogen, 1000 more health. Let's see. I'd get 10% more hydrogen use, but only like 1/13 of my total hit points, and I don't need more hit points right now. I can already easily kill everything except era 6. Like I can easily kill anything except level 6 sector. Like this sector I would have problems with, but these are easy for me. And so in case of this sector, I would still have to maneuver a lot, so an extra 1000 hit points wouldn't help me kill this sector more easily. So there's no point to improve my shield right now. I would just get less hydrogen efficient if I do. So you want to check what the upgrade provides to you, and if that upgrade will be beneficial to you or if it will be just a waste of hydrogen, because you can never go back on your upgrades. Same thing, for example, with EMP. EMP starts very cheap. It's like very cheap to use. It's like, I don't know, 20 or 50 hydrogen. And when you improve your EMP, it gets very expensive very quickly, but it's not getting improved very much. For example, right now I can make my EMP cost 100 more, so it's like half more cost, but only 2 seconds more duration. So I can stun for 36 seconds or for 38 seconds, but I'm going to be spending so much more hydrogen on activating the EMP itself that it's not good for me to upgrade this yet. But for example, for the rocket, I would pay only 10% more for like a quarter more damage. And since I want my rockets to be good at killing these kinds of enemies, which have 7,000 hit points, right now I need, let me see, I need 4 rockets to kill a single one of them, and instead that would be 3 rockets. So by doing this, I'm gonna be changing the amount of rockets I need to kill a Guardian from 4 to 3, and that can be beneficial to me. So that's a good upgrade. Also, for example, it's always good to upgrade your weapons, because if you have better weapons, you kill enemies faster and you can loot more stuff if you kill enemies faster. That's after you reach like level 5-6 red stars. And it will make you maneuver less. Like for example, if I have weak weapons and I want to take down this huge ship which has huge amount of like hit points, I have to move around all the time to switch like which of my ship is taking damage. But if I have a better weapon, I can just kill it quickly and don't have to maneuver, and so I save hydrogen on that. So that's your key concerns in terms of ships. You want to get the ships you need and you want to upgrade them so that they are the most efficient. For transports, that means having slots like in increments of 4. For battleships, that means being as efficient as they can, as weak as they can, while still being good at clearing out sectors in your red star level. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful to you. Leave any questions in the comments and I will answer them. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.